500,000 years later, Earth's descendants came back to seek justice. 500,000 years had passed since humans had walked the surface of Earth. The blue planet was no longer the shining home it had once been. Stories of it were old and faded, whispered only in the archives of distant star colonies. To most people in the Solari Union, Earth was a myth, a cradle of humanity that no one had seen for generations. Only a few records hinted that humanity had once lived there, fought there, and lost there. Captain Daniel Brooks stood on the bridge of the Horizon Dawn, staring at the holographic star charts. The stars were familiar, yet the system he now focused on was one he had never visited. The ship hummed quietly beneath his feet, a gentle vibration that spoke of power and speed. Around him, the crew moved with calm purpose, their faces lit by the soft glow of screens and instruments. "Captain," said Lieutenant Ethan Clark, his voice breaking the quiet. He pointed at a cluster of stars that blinked like tiny fires in the hologram. "These coordinates, they matched the old Earth legends. According to the archives, this is where our ancestors lived." Daniel's hand hovered over the console, unsure. He had heard the stories, of course. Everyone had. Tales of a small blue world that had been abandoned, of humans forced to flee, and of an alien empire that had occupied Earth long ago. But to see the coordinates now, to realize they might actually lead him home, made his heart beat faster. Maya Collins stepped forward, her eyes shining. She was a historian, one of the best in the Solari Union. Her excitement was barely contained. "I've studied these star maps for years," she said. "No one believed me when I said they were accurate. But now we have proof. Earth is real, and it's still out there." Ava Martinez, the chief engineer, leaned against the console with a thoughtful frown. "Real or not," she said, "we have no idea what we'll find. This ship can take us there, yes, but what if it's destroyed? What if the planet is still under alien control?" Daniel nodded slowly. "That's exactly why we need to go carefully. We don't know what's waiting for us, but we have to find out. This is our home. We can't ignore it anymore." Lucas Grant, the communications specialist, tapped his console. "I've been scanning for signals in the system. Nothing yet. It's quiet. Too quiet, maybe. That could mean it's abandoned, or it could mean they're hiding." Daniel turned to his crew. "We will proceed with caution. Stealth first. We observe, then we act. Our mission is clear. Confirm the planet's status, gather information, and if possible, find out why Earth was lost to us." The Horizon Dawn jumped into faster-than-light travel. The stars stretched into lines of light as the ship left its current system and headed toward the Sol system. For hours, the crew worked quietly, preparing for what they might find. Maps were checked, weapon systems calibrated, and life support carefully monitored. The closer they got, the heavier the silence felt. After what seemed like days, the ship emerged from FTL just outside the edge of the Sol system. The view was breathtaking. The sun burned bright, yellow, and steady, and planets spun lazily in their orbits. But Daniel's gaze was fixed on one in particular. There it was, Earth. It was not the Earth they had imagined. 500,000 years had passed, and the planet had changed. Massive constructions orbited the globe, spinning like silent machines. Land masses had shifted. The oceans shimmered strangely, as if covered with artificial layers. From orbit, the planet looked alive, but not in the way they remembered from the archives. This was not a planet waiting for humanity to return. This was a planet under control. Dr. Collins felt her stomach twist. It's been Occupied, she whispered. By someone. Something else. I told you, they never left. The stories were wrong. We're walking into their world, and it's not ours anymore. Daniel's jaw tightened. Then we need to know who they are and what they've done. We proceed carefully, stealth first. The ship descended to the outer atmosphere, cloaking fields engaged. Sensors scanned the planet below. Cities once thought erased had grown into massive industrial zones. Alien structures, tall and spindly, rose above forests and plains. Energy streams ran like rivers across continents, and everywhere, Daniel noticed, there were signs of machinery working the planet. Lucas spoke up from his station. I'm picking up life signs, faint, scattered, and different from humans. Alien DNA, I think. But also traces of humans. Maya's voice trembled. They're experimenting, using humans. Daniel didn't speak immediately. He stared at the holographic display, imagining the stories that had been hidden for centuries. Humanity had once fought here, resisted, and lost, but now their descendants had come back, not as refugees, but as explorers and warriors. The horizon dawn moved lower, orbiting the equator. That's when Ava noticed something unusual. Captain, sensors detect a massive subterranean structure beneath what used to be North America. It's buried, hidden, but it's active. Someone, or something, is keeping it alive. Daniel leaned closer. That's where we start. We need to see what's inside, what was preserved. Maya, you're coming with me. The crew prepared a landing party. Daniel, Maya, Ethan, Ava, and Lucas would descend in the shuttle, leaving the Horizon Dawn in orbit to provide backup. The airlock opened, and the shuttle slipped silently toward the surface. The closer they got, the more apparent it became that the world had been reshaped for alien purposes. Forests were partially replaced with metallic growths, rivers were rerouted into conduits, and mountains had been flattened to accommodate alien machinery. The planet was alive, but alive in a way that seemed hostile, not nurturing. When they reached the coordinates for the subterranean vault, the shuttle hovered over a massive metallic dome. It was ancient and yet preserved perfectly. Strange glyphs and symbols covered its surface, pulsing faintly with energy. Daniel landed the shuttle nearby, and the crew climbed out, eyes wide. Maya ran her hand over the surface, her face full of awe. This is a record of our past. They tried to erase us, but we survived, somehow, and someone kept this hidden. Ethan frowned. We don't know what's inside. Could be traps, defenses, anything. Daniel nodded. We go in slow. Stay alert. We're not just explorers anymore. We're humanity's eyes on our own planet. They entered through a small hatch. Inside, the air was cool and stale, untouched for thousands of years. The walls were lined with metal panels, etched with symbols that reminded Maya of ancient human writing. As they moved deeper, they found chambers filled with artifacts, preserved plants, books, and even human skeletons carefully encased in protective containers. This is incredible, Maya breathed. They tried to destroy us, but they preserved the proof that we existed. That we fought. That we lived. There are more records deeper inside. Communications logs, star maps, historical accounts. Someone wanted this hidden until humanity returned. Daniel's heart beat faster. It's exactly what we need. Proof of our history. And proof of what they did to us. Suddenly, a faint vibration passed through the walls. Ethan drew his weapon, we're not alone. The lights flickered, and in the shadows, they saw movement. Aliens, tall, spindly, with skin that shimmered like metal, emerged from hidden doors. They didn't speak, but their weapons glowed. Daniel stepped forward. We're here to learn, not to fight. But we will defend ourselves if we must. The aliens paused, scanning. Then one of them raised a device, sending a pulse through the room. The crew staggered, but remained standing. Maya shouted, "Look at the walls, the records. They want us to see them, not destroy them," Daniel signaled for calm. "Take only what we need. We leave no trace beyond proof. This is our history. Our future depends on understanding it." Over the next hours, they moved through the vault, gathering data and samples. They found records of human battles against the alien dominion, strategies that had failed, and messages of hope left for the distant future. They found a declaration: humanity would return one day. And here they were, 500,000 years later, fulfilling a promise no one living had made. Finally, they made their way back to the shuttle. The sun was setting over the alienized Earth, casting long shadows across landscapes reshaped by another species. The weight of history pressed down on them, but there was also hope. Humanity had come home, even if it was not yet the home they remembered. Daniel looked at his crew, seeing their faces lit by determination and awe. We've seen the past, we've touched it. Now we need to decide what comes next. We came to learn, but what we've found, it demands action. Maya nodded, her hand resting on the data pad filled with centuries of human history. We've been given a chance to reclaim what was lost, not just for ourselves, but for everyone who came before us. Ethan tightened his grip on his weapon. Then we fight. If they've taken our planet, we'll take it back. Daniel's gaze turned outward, toward the orbiting horizon dawn and the alien constructions beyond. The journey had only begun. Earth was alive again. Not as it had been, but alive in a way that needed human presence, human action, and human justice. As they boarded the shuttle, Daniel whispered to himself, "After 500,000 years, humanity has returned." And for the first time in 500,000 years, Earth felt like it might belong to its people again. The shuttle lifted off from the vault, carrying Captain Daniel Brooks, Dr. Maya Collins, Lieutenant Ethan Clark, Ava Martinez, and Lucas Grant back toward the horizon dawn. The planet below looked quiet from above, but they all knew it was anything but peaceful. The alien machines still worked, the strange cities pulsed with energy, and somewhere across the surface, the Threx, or whatever species had taken Earth, watched. As the shuttle approached the ship, Daniel said, "We have proof. We've seen what's happening here. The next step is deciding how to use it." Maya held the data pad tightly. "They've been experimenting on humans for centuries. We found records of genetic experiments, artificial life forms created from human DNA. They never wanted humanity to come back. They wanted to erase us." Ethan slammed a fist on the console. "Then we should strike now. Hit their installations, destroy their machines, and reclaim what is ours." "Not yet. We need a plan. We don't know their full strength. We don't know what they'll do if we attack. We gather intelligence first. Then we act." Lucas tapped his console. "Captain, I've been scanning their communications. There are transmissions between surface units and orbiting structures. They're discussing our presence." "We might still have a chance to act before they mobilize fully." Ava adjusted the shuttle's engines. We can make short-range jumps over the surface without being detected. I suggest we explore key installations. We gather more data and map their defenses. Then we'll know what we're up against. Daniel nodded. Do it. Stealth is our priority. No alarms, no unnecessary fights. We are here to observe first, understand second, act third. The shuttle descended low over one of the massive alien cities. From above, the spires stretched high, shimmering in metallic colors. Rivers of energy ran through the streets, and strange vehicles moved on invisible paths. On the surface, humanoid aliens walked among machines, monitoring everything. Daniel studied them carefully. They were taller than humans, thin but strong, with skin that shone faintly like polished metal. Their eyes glowed in dim blue and they moved with precision. Maya whispered, "They are organized. Everything is controlled." They see humans as nothing more than tools or memories. Ethan looked tense. Then we need to show them humans are not tools anymore, that we are here, alive, and ready to fight. Daniel put a hand on his shoulder. We will fight, but only when the time is right. First we learn. We find weak points. We understand their systems. We cannot afford mistakes. The shuttle landed in a quiet industrial zone on the outskirts of the city. The crew disembarked, moving carefully among the massive machinery. Ava scanned for energy fields and traps while Lucas tapped into the alien communications using a portable decryptor. Some of these transmissions are in a code similar to ancient Threx patterns, Lucas said. I can read parts of it. They're monitoring human DNA outputs, logging changes, and preparing reports for an orbital command structure. Maya's eyes widened. They've been experimenting with us for hundreds of thousands of years. That means our ancestors' blood is everywhere, altered, studied, and maybe even weaponized. Daniel clenched his jaw. We need to stop it. That's why we are here. But we cannot rush blindly. Let's locate the central lab. Once we know its location and defenses, we'll plan our next move. Hours passed as they moved cautiously through the alien structures. They avoided patrols, hid from sensors, and scanned every room. They found a lab that seemed central, filled with strange machines and tanks holding biological samples. In one chamber, Daniel froze. Inside a glass tank floated a form that looked almost human, but its features were strange, elongated, and alien. Lucas scanned it. It's a hybrid, part human, part alien. And it's alive. Maya gasped. They've been experimenting with our DNA to create a new species, something to replace humans. Ethan stepped closer, anger burning in his eyes. We destroy it. Everything. Every machine, every tank. No mercy. We reclaim what's ours. Daniel shook his head. Not yet. We cannot waste time on emotion. We document it. We gather evidence. This is proof for the Solari Union. When our fleets arrive, this information will guide our attack. A sudden alarm blared, echoing through the alien corridors. The Threx had detected them. Daniel shouted, "Back to the shuttle! Move!" They ran through the corridors, evading automated defense drones. Energy beams flashed, cutting the air inches from their heads. Ava activated the shuttle's cloaking field from inside, and the team dove aboard just as the alarms reached a peak. The shuttle lifted off, weaving through the alien structures. Ethan fired at drones from the shuttle's side, taking out a few, but mostly they relied on speed and stealth. As they rose above the city, Daniel looked at Earth below. The planet was alive, but it was a cage. Machines controlled the surface, and aliens moved with precision. Humanity had returned, but the world was not yet theirs. "Captain," Lucas said, panting, "they're already mobilizing forces." "This won't stay quiet for long. If we want to reclaim Earth, we need allies." Daniel nodded. "I will contact the Solari Union. They will send ships. But until then, we keep gathering information. We learn their systems, their weaknesses. We cannot act without preparation." Maya stared out the window. "I keep thinking about our ancestors. They fought with everything they had, and they lost. But we survived, and now we are here. We cannot fail them again." Ethan clenched his fists. "We won't. Not this time. We are not the same humans they faced 500,000 years ago. We are stronger, smarter, and united. They'll regret every choice they made to enslave our home." The shuttle returned to the Horizon Dawn in orbit. Daniel ordered a full scan of the planet, mapping every city, every energy source, and every alien base. Lucas decrypted transmissions revealing more about the Threx command structures. Ava worked to upgrade the shuttle's sensors and weapons, making them ready for fast, precise strikes when needed. Maya studied the historical archives they had taken from the subterranean vault. She read about the battles humans had fought long ago, about resistance cells and secret messages left for the future. "They underestimated us," she said. "They thought we would never return, but they forgot one thing. Humans adapt. Humans survive. Humans fight." Daniel agreed. "We have 500,000 years of survival, of evolution, behind us. And now, our ancestors' home is in our hands. We do not rush. We plan. We strike. We win." Weeks passed as they watched the planet. The aliens built more machines, monitored human DNA samples, and moved troops in formations visible from orbit. Every day, Daniel and his crew learned more about their enemy. Every day, the fire inside them grew stronger. One night, Maya approached Daniel on the observation deck. "Captain, I found something important. There is a pattern to the aliens' movements. They are not just controlling the planet, they are afraid of something. They leave some areas lightly guarded as if expecting a strike from something or someone." Daniel studied the holographic display. "That could be our chance, a weak point in their defenses. If we strike there, we can test their response. It's risky, but it might give us the advantage we need." Ethan smirked. "Finally, a chance to hit them back. Let's see how they like humans fighting on their terms." Ava shook her head. "It's dangerous. If we fail, the entire planet will be locked down and we'll have no way to get back. But if we succeed, it will show the Solari Union that we can fight, that Earth is worth fighting for." Daniel made his decision. "We strike. Small, precise, careful. We hit the weak points, gather more data, and demonstrate that humanity is back. The fleet will arrive eventually. Until then, this is our test." The next day, the shuttle carried Daniel, Ethan, and Lucas toward a lightly guarded industrial complex. Maya stayed on the Horizon Dawn, coordinating data and tracking alien responses. Ava remained on the ship, ready to support the shuttle and crew with upgrades and repairs. As they approached, the alien sensors detected nothing. The team moved through the city carefully, avoiding patrols. Lucas hacked minor control nodes, opening doors and disabling surveillance. Ethan took out a few drones silently, using stealth and precise strikes. They reached the central hub of the complex. Inside, massive machines processed human DNA and energy from the planet. Daniel took a deep breath. "Record everything, take samples, document their operations, and leave no trace of our presence beyond evidence we need. Suddenly, a faint vibration ran through the complex. The aliens had noticed anomalies. Security units approached. Ethan readied his weapon. They've seen us. Time to move fast. A quick skirmish followed. Using speed, agility, and advanced weapons, the team neutralized guards without alerting the entire city. Lucas downloaded the main data files. Ava guided them remotely, showing the quickest escape route. As they returned to the shuttle, Daniel looked down at the planet. The cities were alive with activity, the aliens unaware that humans had infiltrated their systems. They had struck, gathered intelligence, and left, showing that humanity could fight back. Back aboard the Horizon Dawn, the crew celebrated quietly. They had succeeded, but Daniel knew this was only the beginning. The planet was still under alien control. Their ancestors' home was not yet free. Maya said softly, "We've seen their strength, but we've also seen their fear. That's important. Fear is something we can use." Daniel nodded. "This is just the first step. Earth has been silent for too long. It's time for it to speak again. And when it does, the Solari Union will hear it." As the Horizon Dawn orbited the recovering planet, the crew prepared for the challenges ahead. The fight for Earth had begun, and humanity had returned not as refugees, but as descendants who remembered, who adapted, and who would not surrender. The stars stretched beyond the viewport, infinite and bright. Below, the blue and green planet waited, alive but shackled. Above, humanity's future moved forward, ready to reclaim its past. And in the quiet of the observation deck, Daniel whispered, "Earth will be ours again. And justice will finally be done." The Solari fleet had not yet arrived, but the Horizon Dawn and its crew were ready. Captain Daniel Brooks stood on the bridge, watching the alien installations below. Earth was alive but not free. Cities pulsed with strange lights, machines moved across the continents, and the Threx patrols were alert. Every day above the planet was a reminder of what had been stolen from humanity. Doctor Maya Collins leaned on a console, her hands trembling slightly. "We've learned so much, Daniel, but every day we delay, they strengthen their control. If we wait too long, the planet will be lost to us forever." Daniel nodded. "I know. But rushing would be a mistake. We've seen their strength, and we've seen weaknesses. We strike where they do not expect. Precision, not fury, will win this fight." Lieutenant Ethan Clark's hands rested on the rail of the observation deck, his eyes sharp. "I've studied their patrol patterns. They are predictable in some ways, but ruthless in others. We have to hit their weak points first, then expand control from there." Lucas Grant tapped at his console, scanning intercepted signals. "I've decrypted more communications. They are aware of us, but they underestimate what we can do. They think we will be careful, hesitant. They think we are still the humans they drove off 500,000 years ago." Ava Martinez adjusted the Horizon Dawn's systems. "We aren't. We've had hundreds of thousands of years to evolve, adapt, and improve. They've built machines to replace humans, but they forget one thing. Humans fight differently now. Faster, smarter, stronger, and united." Daniel turned to the crew. "This is our chance. We strike not blindly, but strategically. We gather more intelligence on the surface. We hit weak points. We show them that humanity has returned." The shuttle prepared for another descent. This time, the mission was riskier. The target was a lightly guarded alien industrial complex that appeared to supply energy to the orbital structures. Destroying it could cripple the Threx defenses and give humanity an advantage before the fleet arrived. As the shuttle descended, the planet below was a mixture of alien structures and scarred landscapes. The ruins of old cities stretched across plains, half hidden beneath alien machines. Energy lines ran like rivers between factories, and strange vehicles moved in precise paths. Daniel studied the surface carefully. Stealth first. Avoid detection. Move fast, gather data, then return. The shuttle landed silently. Ethan led the team out, moving among the alien machines. Ava monitored from orbit, guiding them through blind spots and patrol patterns. Lucas worked on hacking local networks to disrupt surveillance. Maya carried the datapad, ready to record everything. Inside the industrial complex, machines hummed and glowed. Tanks held fluids that shimmered unnaturally, and some contained biological samples. Lucas scanned them. They're still experimenting with human DNA. Our ancestors' blood, alive for 500,000 years. They've been changing it, mixing it with alien genetics. Maya's eyes widened. They've been trying to create something new, something to replace humanity. Ethan clenched his fists. Then we stopped them. Now, we end this. Not yet. We gather evidence. We map the complex. We learn how it works. Then, we cannot act without knowing the consequences. Our mission is intelligence first, sabotage second. Hours passed as they moved carefully through the corridors. Lucas disabled surveillance cameras and opened secure doors. Ethan neutralized patrolling drones silently. Maya recorded every detail. Ava's guidance from orbit kept them ahead of patrols and potential traps. They reached the central hub. Massive machines processed energy and biological material. Daniel looked around, imagining the effort it had taken for the aliens to build this network. This is a key point. If we disrupt it, they lose control of much of the planet's systems. But we must do it without causing unnecessary destruction to the planet itself. Suddenly, alarms blared. The Threx had detected anomalies. Daniel shouted, "Ethan, move! Lucas, secure the data." Maya, follow. They ran through corridors as drones and guards converged. Energy beams flashed, narrowly missing them. Lucas worked quickly to download data and disrupt the machines. Maya copied every file she could. Ethan covered their retreat, taking out drones with precise strikes. The shuttle waited just outside. The team leaped aboard, and Ava accelerated the engines, lifting them above the complex. Daniel scanned the area. Good work. We got the data, and they didn't fully realize what happened. That gives us an advantage. Back on the Horizon Dawn, the crew analyzed the data. Lucas decrypted files showing Threx command structures, patrol routes, and experiment logs. Maya read reports of human-alien hybrids and the genetic work the Threx had done over centuries. They underestimated the humans who would return, she said. They thought we would never see this. Now we know everything. Quote, Daniel looked at the map. This is our blueprint. Every weak point, every pattern, every flaw. We strike next, not blindly, but with precision. We show them that Earth belongs to humanity. Days passed as they planned. The Horizon Dawn circled Earth, observing, recording, and strategizing. The crew trained relentlessly. Ethan led combat drills, preparing for both orbital and surface engagements. Ava modified the shuttle engines and weapons for maximum efficiency. Lucas continued hacking and decrypting alien communications. Maya studied the archives, learning not only history, but strategy. Then the moment came. A convoy of Threx transport ships moved near the industrial zones. Daniel saw an opportunity. We strike. Small, precise attack. Show them we are back and that humanity can hit their systems at will. The Horizon Dawn moved quickly, its weapons targeting the convoy. Energy beams streaked through space. The Threx ships fired back but were unprepared. Daniel guided the attacks, coordinating perfectly with Ava's adjustments to shields and engines. Lucas sent false commands, confusing alien units. On the surface, Ethan led a small team to intercept transport pods. They moved swiftly, neutralizing guards and sabotaging energy conduits. The aliens were shocked at the speed and intelligence of the human attack. For the first time in centuries, the Threx realized that the humans had returned, not weak, not scared, but strong, clever, and relentless. Maya monitored the battle from the Horizon Dawn. Their response is slow. They didn't expect precision strikes. They thought humans would be reckless. They were wrong. Daniel nodded. This is only the beginning. They will regroup, but we've shown them our power. We've marked the start of our reclamation. Humanity has returned, and we will not stop until Earth is ours. The shuttle returned with evidence from the industrial zones. Maya uploaded files to the Horizon Dawn. Lucas integrated alien communications with the maps, showing exactly where Threx forces were concentrated. Ethan trained for the next strike, studying the terrain and patrols. Ava prepared the ships for faster jumps and stealth attacks. At night, Daniel and Maya walked on the observation deck. The planet below was a mix of alien machines and recovering land. It feels like we've done so much, but also like it's only the beginning, Maya said softly. Daniel looked down at the planet. 500,000 years, Maya. Our ancestors fought, fell, and left their home behind. Now we're here. We've proven we can strike back, but we have to finish what we started. The Threx cannot remain. Ethan joined them. We're ready, Captain. Every weak point we found, every patrol, every system, they all have flaws. We strike again soon, bigger this time. Surface, orbital, everything we've mapped will be used. Daniel nodded. Good. But we don't rush. Precision, coordination, and patience. This is humanity's return, not a gamble. We reclaim our home step by step, and no one can stop us. The Horizon Dawn moved silently above Earth, a single ship among many soon to arrive. Humanity's future was unfolding. The first strikes had been a warning, a demonstration. The Threx had seen humans adapt, fight, and survive. Now the final reclamation would begin. Below, the alien cities pulsed with energy, unaware that the humans who had once walked these lands had returned. Above, the Horizon Dawn prepared, crew ready, systems optimized, minds focused. Earth would be free again. Daniel took a deep breath. We've started the fight. Now we finish it. For our ancestors, for the future, for Earth. Maya placed a hand on the rail beside him. We will. Humanity does not give up. Humanity does not forget, and humanity will reclaim what is ours. One final step, one final fight. Earth will belong to us again. As the planet rotated below, the first waves of rebellion began. Human technology, strategy, and determination met alien force, and the battle for Earth had truly begun. For the first time in 500,000 years, humans were not fleeing, not hiding, not defeated. They were fighting to reclaim their home. The stars above were silent witnesses. The future of humanity and the fate of Earth hung in the balance. And in the bridge of the Horizon Dawn, Daniel whispered, "Let this be the beginning." Earth will rise again. The war had started, and nothing would stop it. The Solari fleet had arrived. Hundreds of ships stretched across the edge of the Sol system, glowing softly against the blackness of space. Captain Daniel Brooks stood on the bridge of the Horizon Dawn, watching the alien installations on Earth's surface. The blue planet below was still partly under Threk's control, but now there was hope. Humanity had come home. Maya Collins stood next to him, her eyes full of determination. The archives we recovered, the records, the DNA files, the historical data, it has rallied everyone in the Union. They're ready to fight. Daniel, ready to reclaim what is ours. Daniel nodded. Good. We start with the orbital defenses. Ava, ready the ship for combat support. Ethan, your boarding teams are on alert. Lucas, keep hacking and gathering intel. Every weak point we found before will be used. We hit fast, precise, and hard. Ava adjusted the Horizon Dawn's weapons. Engines are overcharged, shields at maximum. We can move faster than their orbital patrols expect. We can hit them before they respond fully. Ethan grinned. Finally, a proper fight. Let's show them what humans can do. The first wave of the Solari fleet entered the system, forming a tight formation around the Horizon Dawn. Daniel gave the signal. Attack begins now. Energy beams streaked across space as human ships fired on Threk's orbital platforms. Shields flared, alarms echoed across alien systems, and drones scrambled to respond. The fleet moved in precise formation, exploiting weaknesses the crew had mapped during their reconnaissance. On the Horizon Dawn, Daniel's hands flew over the controls. Target the energy relays first. Disrupt their power flow. We take the advantage early. Lucas tapped rapidly at the console. I'm in their communication network. I can feed false orders to some units, make them retreat or turn on each other. Ow, ow. Maya watched the planet below. Their cities, their factories, everything they built is fragile. They've grown strong, but they are not invincible. We can reclaim Earth. Ethan's boarding pods launched. They zipped silently toward key Threk's orbital stations, docking with precision. Teams moved quickly, neutralizing guards and planting explosives to destroy energy nodes. The aliens were caught off guard. Their command systems faltered. Ava's modifications gave the Horizon Dawn an edge. The ship moved unpredictably, dodging energy beams, striking targets with pinpoint accuracy. Each attack weakened the alien grip on the planet. Humanity's technology, refined over 500,000 years, was unmatched. As the battle raged in orbit, Daniel looked at Maya. It's time for the ground assault. Ethan, you lead the landing team. We go to the main Threk stronghold in the ruins of old North America. That's where the heart of their operations is. Destroy it, and Earth begins to breathe again. Ethan nodded, understood. We will make it count. The landing pods descended toward the surface. Dust and smoke rose as the pods pierced the alien defenses. Human soldiers moved quickly through the ruins, their weapons trained and ready. The Threks fought fiercely, but they had underestimated humanity. Adaptable, determined, and united, the humans pressed forward. Maya watched from a secure command post in the Horizon Dawn, monitoring the landing team and the battlefield below. They are doing it, she whispered. Our people are reclaiming Earth, step by step. On the ground, Ethan led his team through shattered cities, avoiding traps and neutralizing alien patrols. The main stronghold loomed ahead, a massive spire of metal and energy. Inside, the Threk's command center controlled the orbital defenses and the DNA experiments. Daniel joined the ground operation with a small strike team. They moved silently through corridors, disabling systems and cutting off reinforcements. The aliens fought back, but they were no match for the combination of human strategy, speed, and adaptability. At the heart of the stronghold, Ethan and Daniel confronted the Threx warlord who had commanded the experiments for centuries. The alien stood tall, its metallic skin glinting in the dim light. "You are persistent," it said, voice like grinding metal. "But this planet is ours. Humans were meant to vanish. You are too late." Daniel stepped forward. "We are never too late. This is Earth, our home. You will leave or you will be destroyed." The warlord laughed, a harsh sound that echoed through the chamber. Energy weapons flared, and a battle erupted. Ethan and Daniel moved together, striking with precision. Their weapons cut through the alien defenses, and one by one, the Threx guards fell. Maya's voice came over the communicator. "Captain, the fleet has disabled the orbital shields. You have a clear path. Complete the mission now." With renewed strength, Daniel pressed forward. The warlord fell after a final strike from Ethan, and the central systems of the stronghold shut down. The DNA experiment ceased. The tanks holding human-alien hybrids sealed themselves permanently. Humanity had regained control. Outside, human forces cheered. The battle was not over entirely, but the Threx were in retreat. Ships fled into deep space, leaving Earth behind. Cities that had been under alien control now stood free. Machines ceased their operations, and slowly, nature began to reclaim the land. Maya stepped onto the surface for the first time in her life. The wind was fresh, carrying the scent of grass and earth. She knelt and touched the soil. "It's home," she whispered. "After so long, we are finally home." Daniel joined her, looking over the landscape. "500,000 years, Maya. We've waited too long, but we made it. Humanity has returned. And now we protect what is ours." Ethan surveyed the battlefield. They underestimated humans. They thought we would be weak, but we adapted. We fought. And now they know not to challenge us again. Ava arrived with the engineers. "We'll start repairing what they damaged, restore ecosystems, heal the oceans, fix the infrastructure. Earth will rise again." Lucas smiled, holding the data drives. All the proof of their crimes, their experiments, their control, it's saved. The Solari Union will know the truth. Justice will be done, not just on the battlefield, but for history itself. Small settlements formed in the ruins, and engineers worked to reverse the damage the Threx had done. Nature slowly returned to areas once industrialized. Oceans began to recover. Forests grew back over metallic plains. Humanity's descendants walked among the ruins of the past, reclaiming their heritage. Daniel addressed the crew on the observation deck of the Horizon Dawn. "We've done what our ancestors could not. Earth is free again. But freedom is not just victory in battle. It is care, responsibility, and remembrance. We fight to protect, to rebuild, and to ensure the mistakes of the past are never repeated." Maya added, "We are the guardians now, not conquerors. We honor our past by making Earth a safe home for all humans once again." Ethan nodded, "And anyone who threatens it will know we are ready. Humanity does not forget. Humanity does not forgive when it comes to its own." Months passed. The Solari Union helped establish permanent settlements on Earth. The planet was slowly restored, combining advanced technology with natural ecosystems. Children played among rebuilt cities, learning the history of a world that had been lost and reclaimed. Maya recorded the new archives, her voice calm but firm. This is a record for the future. We returned after 500,000 years. We fought not for vengeance, but for justice and for home. Humanity endured exile, evolved across the stars, and now stands on the planet that gave it life. Let this be remembered. Let this be the beginning of a new era for Earth. Daniel watched from the command center as ships patrolled the skies, ensuring no alien forces could return. The planet below was alive again, vibrant and free. The descendants of humanity walked its surface with pride, hope, and determination. Ethan joined Daniel. Do you think they'll come back? Daniel shook his head. If they try, they will find we are not the humans of 500,000 years ago. We are stronger, smarter, and united. Earth will never fall again. Maya approached, smiling softly. Captain, it feels like the first time humans ever set foot here, but also like we never left. We are home, finally. Daniel put a hand on her shoulder. Yes, and from now on, Earth will remain our home, no matter how far we travel. We fought for it. We reclaimed it, and we will protect it forever. As the sun rose over the recovering planet, casting golden light across oceans and forests, the crew stood together. The wind carried a promise, a reminder that humanity had returned, not as a scattered species, but as guardians of the world that gave them life. And in the quiet of that morning, Daniel whispered one final thought. Justice has been done. Earth belongs to its people again, and we will make sure it stays that way. The planet below shimmered in the sunlight, alive with hope, growth, and the future of humanity. The long exile was over. The descendants had returned. Earth was home again.